Hello and welcome to Trying Times. As always, I'm Carmen and I'm your host and your new friend. So, hello, hi. I hope you're well. If this is your first time listening to this show, then get ready to just hang out and rant if you want, or just chat. I don't know. It could be really anything you want because this is meant to be a very safe and chill space that I hope you're just able to come to and relax and enjoy. Today's episode is going to feel a little embarrassing, potentially just for me, because, well, it's about discovering talents and I guess just trying, guys, keyword trying to discover new talents. So this kind of came from the other day. I was honestly just scrolling through TikTok because who doesn't do that? It's honestly become a routine now. This is something I do every day. Usually, I hate to admit it, I will scroll through sometimes in the morning, and then every evening without fail before bed, it is the thing that kind of just ends up keeping me awake for longer than I need to be. But without fail, I was scrolling through TikTok the other day and it sort of dawned on me that there are so many teenagers specifically, because I feel like that's a chunk of the demographic on that app alone, or people around my age, mid to late 20s. Ooh, that kind of hurt to say. Let's say mid 20s. We're going to stick with mid 20s. Anyone listening to this who is over or past their mid 20s, that's fine. This is more so just a me thing. This isn't directed at you, okay? But I was just scrolling through the app and I noticed that there were a chunk of people, ideally in their teens or around my age, who are able to have a career through this app. And, whether it's related to their sense of humor, dancing, singing, makeup, really any sort of niche, I just think that's so cool. They're able to devote their career, and obviously it's not a simple job. It's a very big part of their lives to this new platform, and are able to connect with audiences worldwide almost, or if not pretty much worldwide, which is so crazy when you sit there and really just kind of dissect it in that way. And this kind of brought me back to remembering the time that I was younger, and well, we had YouTube and Facebook, and that was it. I feel like we had Twitter. Clearly things were happening, things were just happening, and social media was still very new to the world, and the world was very much just getting used to it all and getting adjusted to it all. And so growing up, and by we I mean people around my age or older, we didn't have this platform that we saw people doing anything they wanted on necessarily, at least not to the degree that it is now. We just kind of had our hobbies, but didn't have lots of ways to showcase them or share them. And I know you're probably thinking, you're like, well, YouTube was huge. It was more a nor here nor there type thing. People were kind of sounding it out and being like, what is this platform? What is this doing? What kind of attention is it bringing? So it wasn't something that we were absolutely all just posting on and excited about like we are now, because I don't know what the number is now, but if you were to look up the number of YouTube videos uploaded to YouTube within every minute or every hour now, it is so crazy. But that was definitely not the case when the platform first came out, because it was just something that we were all like, what do we do with this? And how do we control this? To be what we want, algorithm wise. We kind of just saw an array of everything that came out on the app. So back then, it was just kind of we had our hobbies, but we didn't have lots of ways to showcase them or share them. And then, of course, YouTube came into the picture, which is when so much evolved, because people were posting everything they wanted and sharing whatever it was that they wanted, a little bit into the platform actually being a thing and being established, because people were just kind of okay, this open to the public, kind of free chat, free platform is here now, why not share whatever we want on it? So there were a handful of people that I think were able to in some way have clear communication with their audiences and build onto their hobbies or skills by getting suggestions and subscriptions. So that was such a wild thought at the time. And it was something that was very new as a concept, because I think the fine line between, I hate saying this, but celebrities versus us normal people was not there wasn't such a small fine line between it. There was quite a difference between it. That wasn't necessarily something everyone could just achieve. And then with things like YouTube, I think it slowly drew those barriers. like closer together so that like it was becoming a little bit more of a fine line rather than such a hard, harsh line, if that makes any sense. And so, well, when I was younger, I went through a phase where I think, we're going to emphasize another word here, the word think, guys. I had a phase where I think I thought I could sing. Let's replay how I said that. I think I thought I could sing, okay? So that silence you just heard there was intentional. It was not an edit. It was not by any means added in post. I was genuinely quiet for that long because I just wanted to willingly give you guys some time to laugh. So let's now carry on. I think I went through this for probably close to a year, and it wasn't like the worst, maybe. I'm saying it like it's a question still. It wasn't the worst, but I am in no way a trained and professional singer here. But this phase did last quite a while. In some, I would record videos of me singing covers of songs and put those on YouTube. And just so you know, the videos have all since been deleted, burned, so they are indeed totally gone. So thank God for that. But yeah, no, for real, I found those videos. I physically, if there was a way to delete something on the internet and throw it into a dumpster fire, that is essentially what I did with those videos. So yeah, I recorded probably close to like, I don't know, anywhere between 5 to 10 of these videos. And I remember at the time my friends were pretty supportive of it. So this meant either one of two things: that they were either really shit friends, no offense to any of you guys, and lying, or they genuinely just wanted to be there and be supportive and thought, hey, maybe she's not that bad. And to this day, I cannot tell. So that's probably a hand in why I have trust issues. Thinking back on this now, I just know that it's definitely embarrassing, but to be honest, I am so glad I did it because it was something that I was just interested in and, wanted to kind of play around with and wanted to learn more about. So I just did it. I didn't really sit there and think, what if people make fun of me, or what if I'm not good at this? I just took that leap instead and kind of cut that middleman internal conversation out because I was just like, I think this is fascinating and I want to learn more about it. So I just did it. And in past episodes, I've said this so many times, but I truly think the best way to learn something is just by doing it, regardless of whether you succeed or whether you fail. There are always some kinds of lessons along the way to be learned. And so I think that's very valuable, and that just makes me grateful that I did it. And I mean, I clearly let this go on for a while too. Like, I think I posted these for a good year or so. Honestly, I enjoyed it a lot. Like, I wouldn't take it back. And again, that's a huge thing that I try to remember all the time. If I'm interested in something, then I'm just going to try it. And I did. And it sort of fell off. Like, it wasn't feeling totally right for me after a little while, but all in all, I wanted to try, so I just did it, and it wasn't for me, and that's okay. I think that's kind of beautiful now, that you can give anything a shot online if you want, and can have a real-time group of people either to receive feedback from, or converse with, or both if you really wanted. It's just kind of like this huge widened scope of conversation has been made available, and we've never really had it to this degree before. I think if I ever thought about me posting on TikTok now, like not posting whatever, but me posting a singing video, that would be a fat no. Posting that on YouTube like 10 to 15 years ago, damn, I feel old, was not as scary, I think, because, well, it was new. And the concept of social media wasn't so well developed the way that it is now. We were just kind of like entering that realm. And things did go viral back then, but the scope of sharing wasn't as wide as it is now. Like now, if I find something on TikTok, I find it funny, I could download that video to my phone, share it across text if I didn't want to share the link. Like if I wanted to hold on to the video, I could share it through text or messages of all kinds, and, up to several social media platforms. Like I could post it on my Instagram story. I could post that to TikTok again if I really wanted. I don't know why I would. I could post that to Twitter. I could post that, like repost it to YouTube. Like it's kind of endless when you think about it, and it's literally a never-ending conversation. So that level of being viral has just gone up to an unbelievable standard. And the thought of that, I think in general, makes something that I feel uncertain and a bit off-putting altogether. And though I know it doesn't feel that way to all people, and I think that's a good thing, by the way, like if you want to try something and share it online, then do it. All that matters is that you want to share it. Don't get me wrong. In saying that I wouldn't post a song cover now doesn't mean that I just don't sing at all anymore. Like, when I'm alone, I usually play music and belt out notes as if I'm performing in front of like an arena, because who doesn't do that? But that's a different story altogether. I happily sing on my own or with a friend at a concert, and the concert singing is like that ugly singing where no one's really trying to make those notes happen in a crowd. You're just hyped up to be there, and that's about it. You're just going off that high. But like, that's totally different from sharing something intentionally with an audience, whether you know what that size of that audience is going to be or not, or whether you're able to predict that or not. It's kind of just a little less intimidating, obviously. Okay, so with all of that said and done, I want to know now, time for your question. Time for your question that I do every episode. I want to know, have you ever had a singing phase like this, where you posted covers online or not? Maybe you recorded a video and you just kept it to yourself. I would love to know, so share away. And if you feel like it, shoot me a DM on Instagram at the Trying Times Podcast, or leave me a voicemail by clicking the link in the episode description. And better yet, if you're really feeling up to it, then leave me a voicemail of you singing a song you're really feeling right now. And if you want, I'll share it in a future episode. Or if not, just make a note of that and I won't share it. And it'll just be your own little concert that will sit in my voicemail box for life. And that sounds pretty special to me. One more thing before I kind of wrap this episode up. I just want to give you guys a heads up that this show will be moving from weekly programming to bi-weekly programming. So instead of us having our chats each week, we'll talk pretty much every other week. So yeah, that's about it. And with that, I thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I really hope that you've enjoyed. If you're enjoying listening to Trying Times, then go ahead and be sure to follow the show and rate it. That way you could keep up, and also I would really appreciate that. I don't want you guys missing future episodes and our conversations, because that would suck. So yeah, I can't wait to talk to you again soon. All right, bye.